I was trying to think about which of 7 or 8 songs that I know I could play, and it actually didn't take very long. David and I have a common friend, a songwriter, who wrote a song about summer back in the day when it was a little less complicated. It's called The Swimming Hole. Back one barefoot summer, I was tagging on with Tim. Already an 8th grader, man, I admired him. He was the first guy in our town to know what it was like to ride with high-rise handlebars on a black banana bike. And when the streets were oozing tar and the heat pressed down like spikes, we'd gather up that posse and circle around our bikes and go looking for the man who stole the shade. Tim showed us just where to catch him cold. The swimming hole. 'Cause the swimming hole was released from the pain of the sun that pressed the tar up through Maine. There wasn't a cooler way to get wet, like to fizzle the flame on a hot cigarette. The first dive put a spark in your skin, put a in your throat and your face in a grin. Running for water head first you lunge, you were soaking the cool of the pool like a sponge. Well, Jeff could do his monkey jump and me my cannonball. Before they'd have their clothes hung up, I'd drench them all. And sometimes we'd laugh until our throats could make no sound. It was easier to be kids when the parents weren't around. Well, Tim stretched out one story how his daddy lost 3 toes. He'd been wading out one day, bumped a snapper's nose, the biggest saber-toothed turtle in the world. And Tim said he's still down there in the cold at the swimming hole. Well, Tim didn't know what he'd just begun. We all glanced at the pool in the glare of the sun, and our imaginations started putting on shows. A gigantic jaws just an inch from our toes. There were dozens of stories from all of the guys, how he's hungry for flesh and had sinister eyes. Though I laughed, my feet never forgot him. In 6 years of swimming, they never touched a bottom. And when the streets were oozing tar and the heat pressed down like spikes, we'd gather up that posse and circle around our bikes and go looking for the man who stole the shade. We all knew just where to catch him cold. The swimming hole. Sure, there was a cement pool at Otter Park in town, with sanitary dressing rooms and lifeguards strung around. But we preferred the swimming hole with cottonwoods and stone, until one day Jeff slipped off the rope and he popped his collarbone. And all the nervous people who worked at City Hall, they said it's way too dangerous. That hole will drown you all. So they brought in 7 tubs of rainbow trout and a sign that said no swimming in the cold of their fishing hole. Yeah, now it's a fishing hole, 'cause the fishing hole was released from the pain of the work ethic worm that laid eggs in their brains when they were trying to recover that time when they were like us with a kid's peace of mind. No swimming sign didn't faze us at all. It sure looks fine up on Tim's bedroom wall. They ain't made a fence that's too tall to climb. They could call us delinquents, but swimming's no crime. So when the night was oozing stars and the heat pressed down like spikes, gather up that posse and follow our flashlights. Go looking for the man who stole the cool. We'd sneak right down, catch him cold at their fishing hole. 'Cause the fishing hole was released from the pain of a night as hot as steam from a train. There wasn't a cooler way to get wet when that thick muggy air greased you with sweat. The first dive put a spark in your skin, put a in your throat and your face and a grin. Running for water head first you lunge. You were soaking the cool of the pool like a sponge. Well, back one barefoot summer, I was taking on with Tim, already an 8th grader. Man, I admired him. He was the first guy in our town to know what it was like to ride with high-rise handlebars on a black banana bike. Thank you. Maybe we'll see you downtown tonight. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful evening.